Good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing this morning? Here's another No Notice live here on Paint Pixie. I'm Karen, owner and artist From My Palette to Yours, and a resident artist at Paint Pixie. This is part 5. Oh my gosh, you guys, and we're not done. We're going to probably have like 8 of these to finish this side table. So, for those of you that have been following along, I decided that I would do an entire table start to finish with you guys. Sometimes the clips are, the videos are an hour. Sometimes, like I think I did one that was 15 or 20 minutes. It just depends on what I'm doing that, on that step. And so, anyway, we've been working on this since last week sometime. I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. But anyway, I did not get on over the weekend. We were had so many things going that I didn't ever have an opportunity to get down here. I was part of a seminar that I had to be on. Hello, Josie. Thanks for joining me. So a lot of things going on, but I'm so happy to be here with you. I've got all my beautiful my beautiful magical chalk paints back here, just all lined up, same ones that I've been using. This is the table we're going to be working on. So I flipped it over now. Before we had it upside down. And so I don't know if you guys can see on the camera, but when you work on something upside down, you're getting all these bottom edges that are showing up. I knew when we flipped it over, I'd have issues here, and I do. I've got some spots where we're going to really need to go in and touch it up. But now I need to work these front sections again. So this is like the 3rd time. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Donna. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. It means a lot to me. So we're going to do this little section again, and then we'll kind of hit these and maybe put a little bit of paint on these shelves. We'll see. But let's get this blending all done again. So before I came on live, I've been using the same piece of waxed palette paper, and I just keep squirting my paint on, and then it dries whatever's left. But then I like to take this. I know this is weird, guys, but I like to take these and I like to peel like the skins off. So you see, like these are these beautiful paint skins. And then I've been saving some. I want to use them. I'm trying to learn to journal. So they just are so pretty, the paint pieces. And look at this yellow one. I know this is off topic, but look how pretty. So anyway, I like to save all those, and I just keep building on this little piece of palette paper. I know that was just random, but anyway, I was just passing the last couple minutes, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to peel those. They're ready to be peeled. So, all right, let's get started again here. So you guys have been with me. I'm going to mist this a little bit, and then we're just going to start in our center, and we're going to work our way out. So we've got Dreamsicle in the middle, Honeycomb, Candied Papaya, and then Violet Lemonade. So those are the colors we're going to be working on right now. And I've been using my artist brushes. I'm going to continue to use my Turquoise Iris artist brushes. They're working wonderfully for this process.
Sorry, could you say that again?
My watch. Listen to me. I bumped it. Sometimes Siri just hops on and says, what are you talking about, Karen? But I really was not talking to her. So anyway, the artist brushes are working wonderfully. I've been using the Boss, and that's just in the Hobbyist series. And then you could also use the Pro Wash. So here's the Boss, gorgeous brush. And then this is the Pro Wash. It would work the same way, okay? And then I've been using the beautiful mop, the 1-inch mop. And it is so wonderful. So all of those products can be found on my website, FromMyPaletteToYours.com, and that is just my business name.com. So easy to find if you're interested in any of these wonderful brushes, and you're going to see how nicely the mop works for us for blending and how effortless it is. All right, so I'm just going to give it a nice spritz with my Water Girl. Okay, that's our continuous mist bottle, and I'm going to grab my brushes. Oh, where are my glasses? There they are. I knew I just had them. Can't do anything without those. Alrighty. So let's just get in here. I'm starting to get good coverage on this. You're on good? Alrighty, let's just get started. So I'm not putting any water in my brush because I want my paint to be fairly opaque. I'm trying to build this opaque coverage on here with these really vibrant paints. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go straight into my yellow. This is the honeycomb. And I'm just slapping this on. And you can see that there's quite a little bit of a line there. And that's not going to be an issue for us. So I'll get it on both sides. And it's a little bit different angle now that I'm working on because I've been working on this upside down. I'm going to just take my mop now and I'm just going to soften these two colors together, just right along the edge. It's a very light touch that I'm giving it. It's just a little bit of a slip slap motion. Okay, now I'm going to just leave that and I'm going to wipe my brush off pretty well. And then I'm going to go right into my candied papaya. All right, and this is our orange. So I'm going to come straight down here. Again, it kind of leaves that harsh edge, but we're going to go ahead and soften that off. This was so much easier, you guys, when I had it on the Lazy Susan. But now it just doesn't fit correctly with just the legs on it. I don't have quite a big enough Lazy Susan. I need to build me a bigger one, I think. Just go get me a nice big old round and one of the little Lazy Susan bottoms so that I can put something a little bigger on. Okay, so now you can see that I have got that line softened out, and I've got two brushes again going for my mops. I've got the darker paint colors and the lighter paint color ones, just so that I don't muddy things up too much. Now I want to go into straight violet lemonade, so I did rinse my brush just a little bit. I didn't worry about getting everything out, but my violet lemonade I want solid on these blocks between these little round sections. And it's really pretty with this solid violet lemonade. And then I'm just going to pull it here from the corner out in towards my in towards the candied papaya. I got to hit up here too. And the reason that I rinsed my brush out this time is because I do want this to be fairly straight violet lemonade on these little end pieces. There's just, it's a nice break between the leg and the top. Because if you remember, we used the stipply on the legs and they still need another coat. They're not done yet. But the stipply gave it so much texture and a lot of colors, and so it just ties in really nicely. I got a little bit of, oops, oh there, just got another big splotch on my apron, Josie. It's getting christened really quickly here. All right, let's get it over on this side. Oh, it's still got a little bit of that violet or that dreamsicle in there. So when I'm doing these, I probably should have rinsed my brush out a little bit better, or I should just have a brush for my violet lemonade because I don't want colors mixed into this. I was being a little bit lazy there. All right, and then we want to softly blend. Okay, and it's going to take a little more still for this. Oops, wrong one. Let's get this one back out and just brush that a little bit better. Okay, so those colors are starting to look really pretty. Just all feathered out here. I gotta raise my stool up a little. There we go. I won't kill my shoulder this way. Alrighty. Let's just pull this one in a little bit. And if you get a bad spot like that, with it being still, you know, it's not completely cured, I can mist that and come in and just soften that out. That water will reactivate still. It'll reactivate our paint still. You have a certain amount of time before it's a little more difficult to reactivate, but it does its job there. Did I get candied papaya over there? Because it doesn't look like it. Did I just blend into nothing? No, I think I did. It was just a little bit sparse there, so I'm just going to go back in. And it's so easy to build these colors like this. Now these top edges, they're very bare, but I'm going to come back in with my stipply because I've got all of these places that I have to hit with this mottled color. And then these are all going to be I think I'm going to do my rounds just kind of a solid color because I don't want to take away from all the color on my legs and the rim. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be glazed donut, and it's like the perfect color to match the background of my pillow. So that was the inspiration piece colors. Okay, those are my pillows that are out on my patio. Hi Kathy, Tammy, thank you. Shannon, thank you guys for watching. You're so wonderful, you guys. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this. Now, I'm going to not drop my table, and I'm just going to give it a turn. I'm going to be my own lazy Susan. And now this one, you can tell, only has one coat of blending on it. You can surely tell the difference there, can't you? This one hardly has any coverage because I wasn't working very methodically before. But now it's time. So let's give it a little mist. Let's do this all over again. And you guys, blending, like this is one of the best things you can do is just watch. And it's repetitive, but watch it over and over again. Like literally that's one of the best ways that you can learn. Okay, so I'm getting on my dreamsicle. Get my water a little closer. There we go. Okay. Coming right into my honeycomb. Wet on wet. That's what we want to do. And I'm not being stingy with my paint right now. I'm putting quite a bit of paint on because I want texture. I love texture when I'm blending. So, and this is really wispy, so it helps for the paint to travel if I have plenty of paint on there. Okay, so I've just laid that on. I'm going to come in just softly, blend this out a little bit. And you can tell your paint which direction you want it to go. Like here, I want to pull it out a little bit towards the honeycomb because I was covering up too much of my dreamsicle. And then just softly slip slap with this beautiful mop. You guys, I'm telling you, if you don't have this mop, you have got to get your hands on one. Alrighty. Okay, let's go right into our candied papaya again. And you can see this is just a process, but it just comes together so nice. So let's get our candied papaya going. Again, very generous coverage here at this point. I'm scooping up quite a bit of paint. I'm ready for this to start getting some good coverage. I've got a good base down. I'm ready to get some texture going. Okay, softly blend this out. Remember where we blend, it kind of makes that third color where the two meet. So the honeycomb and the candied papaya are making their own little color here. That's a little bit getting into the honeycomb a little too far. And you can always just move it. Do you see how I can just drag that away? And I'll come in and slip slap that back out. And don't try and make it like, I'm not trying to make it look the exact same on both sides as I'm blending. I just want to know that there's my, this is where my candied papaya is. I want to still be able to see some of this honeycomb. And I have been losing the honeycomb quite a bit, and I've told you that. It's a tough color to keep on top, especially when I'm blending with such a darker color. Okay, and I'm just going back and forth with these mops because I don't want the darker color mop to come in here. Alrighty. Okay, let's go right into our violet lemonade. This time I'm going to wash my brush out a little bit better. And let's pull up the violet lemonade into it. Coming all the way from these little squares out into my candied papaya. Probably could have done a little more candied papaya there, but that's all right. We're good. Oh yeah, I've been hitting this top. I'm like, am I forgetting my top here? Because I don't want to do that. Okay, somehow I just dipped into the wrong color. I was saying candied papaya, so I dipped into it. So I'm just going to leave that where I muffed up. I added candied papaya there. Not a big deal. It's just paint and it covers. We can cover it, so not a big deal. But I don't want to mix them, so I'm just going to leave that where I put the wrong color down, and then I'll come back and fix it. Next go round. There's always a next go round, isn't there? All right, let's get this one coming in. Try and keep into this violet lemonade now. Oh, I think I just flipped paint onto my face. So if I have a little pink lemonade on my face, or a violet lemonade on my face, that's going to be because I just flung my brush a little bit too hard there. All right, nice little blends here. All right, I think I'm going to keep standing up and I'm going to try and stay out of your way. Hi, Paulette. Thank you for joining. Betty, I appreciate you being here, and all of your sprinkling. I appreciate that, Betty. You do that for all of us, and it's so appreciated. You're a really great support. All right, let's just make a little turn here again without dropping the table. All righty, next section. Now you guys can see as we're moving along here how much faster this goes. I'm just gonna get this up here where I can get to it. Yep, for me, if I'm sitting too low, if I have to have my arm up above my, any more extended than just about there. Sorry, you can't see me about there. I really get a lot of pain. I had a rotator cuff repaired, a surgery. It was just terrible. It was the worst surgery. Anyway, long story short, I need to not have my arm up too high or it just really causes me problems. So I'm just going to stand up and I'm going to try and stay out of your way as much as I can. Getting old is just, it's not for sissies. That's all I can say. So being up though, I can't see as well under there, but that's all right. It's going to be better for me in the long run if I just stick where I'm at here. Okay, I'm going right into my honeycomb now. Just getting some good paint laid on there. And as you're rinsing your brush through between these colors, you do need to make sure that you blot as much of the water out as you can, because we really don't need water with this paint. The viscosity in this paint is just amazing to where we can blend without adding a whole bunch of water. All you need is basically a little tiny spritz every now and then. And like right now, I spritzed it before, but really it's just wonderful the way it blends. I've lost a little bit of that. I had a little too much on here. So I've lost a little bit of my center. So I'm just going to come back and just lay a little bit in right down in there. So here I am just blotting my brush as much as I can. And I'm just going to lay this right back in, right down the center. And maybe I should have been doing this from the beginning, because that actually just gives that little sander back a little bit of oomph after that honeycomb has been blended into it. I may do that from here on out. Just add that back in, do it, get the honeycomb in, and then do it one more time. I think that's actually probably a good process right there. Okay, I'm gonna blot my brush again. And if you want to really get your bristles dry, you can like put it in between two layers and just kind of squish it and dry it. And then I'm just trying to keep these mops a little bit cleaned off, just because they do pick up. You guys can see how wet they are now. They pick up a lot of paint blending in this fashion. So all right, we're going right into our candied papaya here. This color is amazing. It's so fun to work with. It's the perfect red orange. It is our orange, but it's got so much red in it that it's so beautiful. It's just such a great color and a unique color. I've said that before, but I don't run onto this color a whole lot. So it's always fun when we have a new little color to play with. All right, just a nice little soft blend. My mop is getting a little bit dirty, but it's okay. It just adds a little bit of interest, and we can have some little wispy lines here. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, that's mixing in with our honeycomb to kind of form that mid-tone. Just helps it to blend in. Okay, and we can always come back in and clean things up a little bit. Anything we need to do just to soften it out. Alrighty, and now rinse out, because we want to go straight into our violet lemonade and have that pure color. Don't want a dirty brush for this. I'm going to come across this one again. Every time I get to one of these squares, I just add more violet lemonade and it's just getting great coverage. Hit the little side and bring it in. A little more paint. And I can put the paint on very, really heavy over here on the edge because I'm not blending that. It's when I get over in towards where I'm blending that I don't want quite as much paint on. So I'm laying my paint in pretty thick and then I'm kind of wisping my brush up in a way. I'm kind of like pulling it up a little bit just to give it just a little bit of a wispier edge. And those two colors, they just blend so fast. There's so much, they're the same value and close in, I mean, they're not close in color, obviously, it's orange and pink, but they're still so much the same value that they just blend really effortlessly. Okay, we're gonna pull that in just a little bit towards this candied papaya. Hit that edge. Got a little squeak going on here, don't we, with this table? Hey guys, I'm just going to tell you, this whole remodeling of my house is not very fun. I don't know where anything is in my house. I swear it takes me twice as long to do anything. And everything, I just feel like right now I'm feeling it because it's so crowded in this room. I've got things in here that normally wouldn't be, and oh my goodness, it's like driving me crazy. But it's going to be a couple months still, so I better just get used to it, right? And not be a wuss because we've got a long time. And we're showering downstairs in our downstairs bathroom, and it's got a shower curtain on it still. I should just get I should have got doors put on. I feel like I'm in a hotel when I'm down there. And it's a little claustrophobic being in a small tub and shower again. I don't know. How do you guys feel about those things? Like, do you kind of get used to your norm and then those little things, it's like, man, quit being such a big baby, Karen. I don't know. What do you think? Yes, honeycomb is a gorgeous color, isn't it, Betty? What are you guys thinking? This is getting there, isn't it? Okay, we're on to the fourth side, I think. Yes, that one's been done today. So this is our last one here. Okay, and then, again, just a really light spritz there. Just enough to let my paint move, but I don't want to water down my paint at all. I want this full strength. Okay, just get that beautiful dreamsicle on. Got a little hair there. Oh, it's in one of the previous layers. There, got it. Okay, gonna come right into my honeycomb. Wipe that brush off a little. Okay, other side. I feel like this is a repeat class, guys, and it is, but I told you we're doing this start to finish, and I want you to see what goes into a piece to get all these pretty layers. You have to just do it over and over again to really get these nice, especially when you're using vibrant colors like this. It doesn't just happen in one coat. But I think when you guys see this finished product, you'll see that it's worth the time. It's worth the time and effort. Okay, now this time I'm blending a little more haphazardly than I have been in the past, because I'm coming back in now with that, like we did on that last section. I really thought that worked out well. I'm going to come back in now with my dreamsicle and just put that right back down the center. Just keep checking to make sure that I'm not completely in your way here. All right, pull that out a little bit into the honeycomb this time. Okay, that's just doing a lot better job as far as the blend on that, and just giving that dreamsicle a little chance to show up a little bit better. Okay, we're coming right into our candied papaya. Let's just go here, kind of slip slap it when we get towards the honeycomb, so we have just kind of a rough edge. Okay, good coverage there on my. Let's get up here a little bit more. I better get that blended right there. I don't want that harsh line to stay. So let's just go ahead and get this blended. And then we'll move over to the other side. This ring light starts to heat this paint up. It gets really warm in here, and so we'll just do this. And I love all the little wisps that come in as the colors blend. You know, a little candied papaya goes this way, a little bit of the honeycomb I can drag that way. It just really adds a lot of interest. Let's add a little more paint right there. Not worried about it getting out over there into that violet lemonade area. Come back in with my lighter brush and pull that back over. It's just scooching into that honeycomb a little too far, so I'm just moving the paint with my mop. And you can manipulate your paint. You can tell it to go where you want it to go while it's still wet. And here, you know what, I lost a little bit of my honeycomb, so I'm just going to add a little bit in with my finger because my brush is so dirty. I'm going to just kind of pat that in a little bit there and then soften it back out. Okay, do that with this side. Oh, I got in where I didn't want it, so we'll just do that and soften that back out. It's just paint, guys. We can fix about anything, can't we? Okay, that's looking good. Let's rinse the brush this time. Remember, we want our violet lemonade to be really solid. So let's come in with this. I'm gonna go across the little brick here, our little block, top of our leg. And then from this outside edge, laying it on heavy here, so we've got good coverage, and then just kind of swooshing it into this candied papaya. Get the rim up here, same thing, just kind of swishing it back and forth. And my mops are getting pretty, yeah, that one's got too much light in it now, so I dropped that mop in the water and I've got a clean mop out now. Sometimes you have to switch mops in between. So, you know, if you have a few, that's to your advantage. And if you can't, you know, if you don't quite have that capability yet to have a couple of them, then sometimes you have to just stop and wait. Okay, I'm just going to add in a little paint there with my finger because I've got a little edge that's not taking my paint. Alrighty, let's get in here on this other side now with our violet lemonade. So pretty, guys. This is so fun. I love these colors. This table, I'm like getting so excited to get it done because I think it's just going to be so fun out on my patio. All right, so that one's just a quick blend. Okay, we've gone all the way around there again. So now I'm going to drop these mops in because I want them to stay clean. And I don't like to drop my artist brushes in water, but it's only going to be for a few minutes here. And so it'll be fine. I'm going to take my, I'm going to throw some candy apple out. And then I've got my candied papaya still. I'm going to throw a little more violet lemonade out. And I'm going to stipple these top sections here a little bit. So if you remember, I just kind of got into all of the colors on my stipply, or on my caddy. I keep calling it the caddy, or the stipply. And I'm just going to come in here now and start to add a little bit to these sections, because this is where, you know, this was underneath when it was turned upside down. So I missed a bunch of spots, and that I knew I'd flip it over and go, ugh, dang it. But that is just kind of the way it goes. So got a bunch of colors on here, and I'm just stippling them randomly. I'll get these dark colors on first. And then we can add in some yellows and some of the dreamsicle. And I'm trying not to put too much of the violet lemonade in here, just because I really want my squares up here, my blocks, to really show. So I'm kind of just trying to be careful about that. Got to really pound into those moldings. And I'm going to be doing some dry brushing, of course, to get our to get all of these carvings and all of that stuff to show pretty. I'm going to come in just with a little bit of yellow here. I'm not going to do too much with it because I don't want to blend it in too much. So I'm going to kind of throw it on and then just kind of leave it. Hit it a couple times and just smush it down into the paint that's wet, and then just leave it and let that be. Okay, same thing over here. See, I just add that on and then I just kind of hit it once or twice because we want that to show a little bit. And if we do it too, every time we pounce on it, we're gonna just mush it in even more, and then we're gonna lose it. And as you're working, you'll kind of get the feel for that. When it's time to stop, it'll be like, oh, that yellow is just disappearing more and more. And every time we add to this, so every time there's a new layer put on, it's just that much more interest. Let's add a little bit through here. I'm just kind of loading just different colors onto my brush. And they're all just kind of getting all, mucking up together, but that's just fine. Okay, I still have like really bare spots in these. I'm going to come in with just a little detail brush and hit those. All of these carvings, there's just so much detail that I haven't been hitting all of it. So I've got a lot of dark brown from the base color. So you see how busy, so you can see how busy these legs are. We've got all of this blending and then we have all of this modeling on here. I'm going to do these solid because I don't want the rounds here, the shelves, to take away from this. This is kind of my focal part, the legs and this. And so these are going to be really just basic. I'm not going to do much to them. But up here, I do think I am going to paint some of those flowers. So it'll be fun to see that when I'm, sitting down and setting my drink cup on it or whatever. It'll be fun to have the flower sitting there, a little bit of character to it, and just some design. We're artists, right? We like to paint things, and so I kind of feel like these two shelves in the middle just need to be plain. And I will not bore you guys with base coating those because they are literally just going to be base coated. And I'm not sure what color. I may just do the glazed donut and have it really just neutral, or maybe a little bit of a soft blend in there. I'm not sure what the glazed donut might be a little too plain, but I don't know. I think maybe it would work. So at this point, I'm just kind of trying to build these legs up. I don't mind seeing some of that dark wood through. It just gives a lot of dimension. It's like our shadow, but I don't want it to look like, oh, she missed a spot. I don't want it to be that obvious. Okay, so those, down here, I found one more little spot. Let's just hit down here just a little bit more. And this just gets more and more fun every time I pick up a brush. And then down here, my legs, these I want just straight candy apple. So I've just been going in with my brush and just giving these good solid coats of the candy apple. And then I want to somehow incorporate some blue onto these, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I may just dry brush, some turquoise of some sort on. I've been leaning towards Tropical Dream, but as I'm getting this done more and more, I'm feeling like it's not going to be quite blue enough, so I'm considering Bon Benny Cocktail. I think the Bon Benny would work on that candied apple. What do you think, Josie? You are the Bon Benny expert. That's her color. Well, they're all her colors, but that's kind of her baby, I think, the Bon Benny. So, but I think the Bon Benny would look really pretty with this, and it would be definitely my Papa Blue. I just do blue on about everything. There's always some turquoise somewhere on my pieces. So, okay. All right, so those are done, and now if I can turn, we can do the other two legs. Let me see if I can somehow turn this without dropping it. Okay, now I've got some dry legs I can hold on to carefully. You guys, this is pretty good for me. I usually drop things. So let's just do this one more time. I'm dipping into my candied papaya and my candy apple right now and getting some good coverage on here on these legs. Okay, in the caddy, it just works so nice. You can just load this up and you just come in and do all of your stippling. The dirty brush works really well for this this technique because it just creates so many different colors, and you can change your value back and forth. If it's like, oh, it's too light, then you just come back in with your darker colors, and you don't have to do it everywhere. You can just hit and miss. And then you can see how it transforms the legs when I start adding these darker colors. And then that gives me something to work this yellow into. That was a little too much, so I'm just going to come back over that. You can see how easy it is to fix. I just came back over that with some candied apple and candied papaya. And just kind of calm it down a little bit. You're not going to see this leg, it's off camera a little bit, but I'm going to throw a little bit of yellow on there. And as I keep that yellow in the tip of my brush, I hold it up and off so it's not hitting the yellow, and I'm using this portion because I tilled it just a titch, and then I can come back in and hit with the yellow without having to reload and get too much yellow on my brush all at once. Okay, I'm just going to hit that a few times because it needed a little coverage in that. All right, we still on? You're still with me, guys? I know this is just kind of repetitive, but this is what it takes. So thanks for being with me. I appreciate it so much. And if you guys have any questions, of course, ask them. I'm here to answer any questions you might have. How many of you have tried our magical chalk paint? Just say me if you have. Okay, just hitting that with these two. I'm mainly sticking with the candied papaya and candied apple right now because I have a lot of light colors on there already. And this is the next layer basically. So you kind of cover up a lot of the work that you did previously, but it's not gone. It is part of that final look that you want. So I was in a seminar, we were painting some roses, and I'll tell you, roses are not my strong point, but to really build a pretty rose, you paint it, and then you glaze it back, and then you do the same thing again, and then you glaze it back, and so you just keep working on it, and all those glazes, it's kind of the same thing here. The layering, pretty soon you've got a whole bunch of values because you put down the bright colors, and then you glaze it back kind of with the with your base color, and pretty soon you start to get some good dimension. And with roses, like if I can do it, anybody can because they really, I can do a lot of flowers. Roses just aren't my overall best thing, but I'm getting there. I'm working on them. I don't tend to paint a lot of roses, not because I'm not good at it, just that they're not really what I usually paint. But now I'm starting to think maybe I enjoy them. Alrighty, so I think those look good. Let's just hurry and give it a quick base coat of the candied apple down here on these feet. We want to give those a good coverage because these are going to be down where, they're going to get bumped. And you just want a really good base coat on the areas of your pieces that are going to get the most, contact with objects, with kids and grandkids and our feet and the dog. So I'm going to just give this another good coat here. And I really have been putting a lot of paint on this again, this is going to be out in the weather, and so I kind of want to make sure that I've got it covered as far as, you know, where the rain and stuff gets on it. And I'll, of course, put a ton of force filled on this. It's going to probably get like 4 or 5 coats. It's going to be really, really well protected. All right, I'm just going to hit that a couple times with some yellow. All right, I'm liking this, you guys. A little more yellow there. I know I don't have my caddy in my hand, but you can do the same thing with the end of this. It would just take forever, and I don't like to do that much damage to these brushes, so I try and be a little more careful with my artist brushes, but a little tap won't hurt. All right, there is one more layer. So we're getting pretty much done up here. The legs I feel like are in really good shape right now because they're still going to get some little, I don't know, I'll probably bring in some metallics or something. We're going to do something fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's been really fun to work on a piece, you know, this much with you guys. And again, any questions, just let me know. Head on over to my page for My Palette to Yours. Give me a like and a follow if you haven't. And again, all of these products can be found on my website from mypaletteyours.com. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I love, you guys, I love this magical chalk paint. If you haven't tried it, you've got to try it. It is the best. You guys take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.